You are 47 years old. You are standing in the produce aisle of a grocery store 40 minutes from your house, holding a peach you have not yet decided to buy, when your phone vibrates. Manhattan area code. A woman named Evelyn from Forbes wants to verify a number for the 2026 Billionaire list. She asks if 184 billion is accurate. You put the peach back. You walk out without paying for the basket. You sit in your car for 6 full minutes before turning the key. Nobody in your family has ever been on that list. Nobody in your family has ever heard of that list. Nobody in the history of everyone who came before you has ever sat in a car in a grocery store parking lot and been asked to confirm a number that large. That is about to change. But first, you need to go back. You are 19 years old. You are working a dish station behind a Filipino restaurant in Queens. The sink is too low for your height. Your back aches by 11 at night. You make $11 an hour. Your manager lets you take home leftovers. Your father works construction in New Jersey. Your mother cleans houses in Manhattan. They came to this country in 1993 with $340 in 2 suitcases. You know the exact number because your mother reminds you every Sunday dinner. She does not say it as a boast. She says it as a weight, a reminder of what the baseline looks like and what it means to start from it. Your family does not talk about money. They live inside money the way you live inside weather, always aware of it, never above it. One Thursday night at the sink, you start doing the math on the restaurant itself, not your pay, the whole operation. 84 tables turning over twice on a Friday. Average check, $47. Food cost around 28%. Labor around 33%. Net margin somewhere near 12%. You run all of it in your head because there is nothing else to think about while a high-pressure hose cleans plates. You realize you have been studying a business model for months without knowing it was a business model. You start writing things in a notebook, not ideas. Observations. Which delivery driver shows up at what time? Which vendor gives the best produce margins? Which ordering pattern maximizes table turnover? You say nothing to anyone. Your coworker thinks you were studying for school. You saved $140 over 7 months. You do not spend any of it. You know the first dollar has a purpose. You just haven't found its shape yet. You are 24. You run a small digital agency out of Astoria. 3 clients, $6,800 a month in revenue. You build the first website for free to prove the concept worked. The second client came from the first, the third from the second. You have never sent a cold email in your life. Your mother is still cleaning houses. You stopped trying to convince her otherwise. You send her $800 a month. You learn 2 years later that she put every single dollar in a savings account in your name. You cry in a parking lot for 14 minutes when you find out. You hire your first employee. Her name is Lena. She is 26. She is better at project management than you will ever be. You pay her $52,000 a year in a small equity grant that neither of you fully understands yet. A friend from high school asks what you were building. You tell him. He says it sounds small. You say it is. He passes when you offer him 5% for $15,000. He will remember that exact conversation 14 years later. Revenue hits $18,400 a month by year end. You reinvest everything. You do not buy a car. You do not upgrade the basement. You sleep on a mattress you bought for $180 off the internet. You turn down a $40,000 cash client because the engagement would have cost you Lena. That decision will eventually be worth $280 million. You do not know that yet.
You are 28. The agency is no longer an agency. It is becoming a platform. You built a software tool that automates the most tedious 60% of the work you used to do manually for clients. You license it to 12 competitors first. Then you stop licensing and start charging direct. Monthly recurring revenue, $184,000. Team of 14. An office in Soho with exposed brick. A venture capital firm reaches out. You take the meeting because you are curious, not because you need the money. The partner wants to invest $4 million at a $24 million valuation. You walk along the East River that evening and think about the savings account your mother kept for you. You think about the dish station. You think about what it means to own the last ceiling you ever have to negotiate. You decline the deal. The partner asks why. You give him the answer. He does not understand the sentence. You do not try to explain it twice. Your wife, Priya, is a pediatric oncologist. She works 2 Saturday shifts. You cook dinner 3 times a week and leave it in the refrigerator. Neither of you talks about the company at dinner unless she asks. She rarely asks. This is not indifference. This is the specific grace of someone who understands that the person across the table needs one room that does not have a cap table in it. You are 32. Annual recurring revenue, $21 million. 94 employees. You finally raise capital, $40 million in a Series B. You control 3 of 5 board seats. That will matter later. A board partner named Kenji has opinions about your go-to-market strategy. He is sometimes right. He is occasionally wrong in ways that would cost you significantly if you let them land. You learn the most important professional skill of the next decade: how to listen carefully to someone who is 60% correct without letting them convince you they are 100% correct. Your mother finally stops cleaning houses. She does not fully want to. You visit her on a Sunday and open a laptop and show her a spreadsheet. She looks at the numbers without asking questions. She says, okay, and then she asks if you are eating. You tell her you are. She says she is making adobo on Tuesday anyway. You drive home with a Tupperware on the passenger seat and do not play music for the entire 90-minute drive. You do not need music. The quiet is full enough. You hire a chief of staff named Evelyn. She is 30. She stays for 11 years. She matters more than almost any other hire you ever make because she is the only person in the building who tells you no when nobody else will. Businesses do not fail from too many people saying no. They fail from too many people saying yes to the person who writes the checks. You are 37. 620 employees across 3 countries. Annual recurring revenue has crossed $180 million. Your position on the cap table is worth something north of $340 million on paper. You do not feel wealthy. You feel accountable. Accountability at scale feels almost identical to the weight of the number your mother used to say on Sunday dinner, just more zeros. The family dynamics have quietly shifted. A cousin calls about a business idea. The idea is not viable. You tell him the truth. He stops calling. Your aunt tells your mother you have changed. Your mother does not defend you. She also does not agree. Over the past few years, you and your mother have developed a private language that nobody else in the family speaks, built entirely out of what does not need to be said anymore. You buy your parents a house in cash in a neighborhood they always liked, $840,000. You do not furnish it. You let them do that part themselves. Your father plants a vegetable garden in the backyard. It becomes his entire retirement. You did not expect that. It's the thing about the purchase that you think about the most. Your company's Series C closes at a $1.2 billion valuation. On paper, for approximately 6 hours, you are a billionaire. The lockup math brings your liquid net worth back to 7 figures before the day ends. The headline number does not matter. What matters is that the concept of a billion now has a specific Thursday attached to it. You send Lena a single text, 3 words, "We did it." She replies with a check mark. That is the entire celebration.
You are 42. The company is private. Revenue has crossed $480 million. Your cap table position is valued at $1.9 billion on the latest round. You do not live like that number. Your car is a 9-year-old Lexus. Your house is a 4-bedroom Craftsman in a neighborhood where most of your neighbors do not know what you built. The security situation has changed. Your wealth manager shows you the statistics. You agree to a 3-person rotation. They are discreet. You still hate it. Your daughter Anna is 8. She does not know the number. She does know that her father answers more calls than most fathers do. She starts asking you on Sundays to put your phone in a drawer. You start doing it on a Sunday in April. You have not broken the rules since. Your mother calls on a Thursday night. She has read an article. It used the word billionaire for the first time in print. She asks if it is true. You tell her technically yes on paper, but not exactly the way the article describes it. She is quiet for a
long time. Then she says, "Your father and I had $340 when we got off the plane." You do not say anything for 30 seconds. You say, "I know, Ma." She says, "You were always going to do this." You do not know if that is true. You hope it is. You do not argue. You are 47. The company went public 18 months ago at a $4.1 billion valuation. After lockup periods and gradual sales under a structured trading plan, your liquid net worth is approximately $1.84 billion. Forbes just verified it. The reporter hung up the phone 31 minutes ago. You drive home. You park in the driveway. You sit in the car before going inside. You think about the dish sink at the restaurant in Queens. You think about the mattress on the floor in Astoria. You think about the walk along the East River when you turned down $4 million that you didn't need and could not fully explain why. You think about your friend from high school who passed on $15,000 for 5% and is doing fine running a small business in New Jersey and probably thinks about that conversation more than you do. You go inside. Priya is on a call with the hospital. She is 47, the same age as you. She still works 2 Saturday shifts because her patients are 8 years old and they do not read Forbes and they need her there on Saturdays. Anna is at the kitchen table doing algebra homework. She looks up and asks if you can explain negative exponents. You say yes. You sit down beside her. You explain negative exponents. 31 minutes ago, a reporter confirmed you have $1.84 billion in liquid assets. Right now, you are trying to remember how to convert a fraction with a negative exponent so your daughter can finish her homework before bed. The math is the same math you did in your head at age 19 at the dish sink. The context has completely changed. She finishes the problem. She goes to her room. You pour a glass of water. You stand in your kitchen. Nobody in your family has ever been here. Nobody who came before you ever stood in a room like this, having arrived from where you all started. The $340 and the 2 suitcases are still in the room, carried forward through 30 years of Thursdays in notebooks, and 1 mattress on the floor, and 1 parking lot where you cried for 14 minutes, and 1 walk along a river where you turned down the wrong money at the right time. Somewhere in Queens tonight, there is a 19-year-old washing dishes behind a restaurant he doesn't own. His back hurts. His shift ends at 11:47. His mother cleans houses. His father works construction. They came to this country with less than $500 in 2 suitcases. He has a notebook. He is writing observations between orders, not ideas, observations. He is counting. Nobody has told him yet what he is capable of building. Nobody has told him he cannot build it either. He will figure out the answer the way everyone at the beginning figures it out. Slowly, 1 Thursday at a time. The dish sink runs. The notebook fills. The machine has already started.